You know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. And of course, you have seen the title. I've been sitting back in my laboratory concocting a few concoctions. And I've been following this petition drive that these Negro women have on the forthcoming Kaepernick anthology. So I decided to put it back under the microscope and look at it one more again. And then in the process, I'm in my war chest, and a photo caught my attention. I'm going to share it with y'all later on in the video, which will give you the title of the video, what these women should be petitioning against. I'm going to show y'all what that is later in the video. And I'm going to deal with that because you know this is the public video, so you know I'm going to be politically correct. But I'm going to take that photo down into the hole and we're going to discuss it. And I'm also going to, one more again, show y'all this mythology, this colorism, and how it is a myth. Yes, I said a myth. And again, I'm going to illustrate it by presenting to y'all a photo that I've had in my war chest. I'm going to share this with y'all in the hole. So this is all for this weekend's Rabbit Hole production. Y'all know what it is, second nature like breathing. If you want these photos and my commentary, send me an email. I'm most certainly will get you the link. And of course, you've seen the title. And I thought I would take the time to address these sisters. And I'm going to be very deliberate in my presentation simply because of the fact that I know the nature and the intellectual level of the women that I'm addressing. And I'm talking to one Paris, Milan, one Chrissy. I see Yanni has weighed in. Of course, anytime, we talk about subjects like this, one Crystalline cares and got to put her 2 cents in. I mean, she finds the time to come down off of her perch to weigh in on the colorist debate, which is kind of funny to me because, well, let me leave it alone because if I was in the hole, I would go on and say it, but we're not in the hole, so let me just leave that alone. But these are the women that I'm going to address, and I'm going to say this, and there's others. I mean, there's others that may come to my mind that I just didn't mention, but I've seen a lot of women make videos, and they're talking about sharing this petition, and I'm going to tell y'all why you can't really take that petition serious. And the first thing is, I wonder how many of these women know who Emory Douglas is? I mean, who is Emory Douglas? Well, Emory Douglas is the brother who made the cover that all these women are, they're upset about. They talking about how black women are being disparaged, how they're being used, how they're putting down black women, blah, 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 blah. And it became obvious to me that many of these sisters have not taken the time to look at Mr. Emory Douglas's artwork. I mean, he's an accomplished artist. This guy is 77 years old, a member of the original Black Panther Party. I believe he was Minister of Culture in the original Black Panther Party. He goes and enrolls in school and takes up art, and he loves art. And if you Google, I want y'all to Google Emory Douglas artwork. If you Google Emory Douglas's artwork, there is no way in hell, unless you're pushing a propaganda, there's no way in hell that you can look at this brother's vast array of, I mean, this dude been doing this for half a century. And if you look at his vast artwork, there's no way in hell you can rationalize he hates black women. And it's funny that none of these sisters even mention this guy. Oh, they talk about Kaepernick because he's an easy target. I mean, listen, let me say this before somebody think I'm a fan of Kaepernick. I'm not a fan of the brother. I want to hear him talk. And when I mean talk, I want to hear I want to see what level of understanding he has, because right now he's just a figure. You know, he wears the black leather jacket that the Panthers wear. He got the afro. He wear the socks with the pigs, cops on it. He does all that stuff. But I've never really heard him articulate. And that's what I'm waiting for. Now maybe he's studying. And I have no problem with. Yes, Kaepernick, do your research before you open your mouth. And that's something that a lot of these brothers on YouTube haven't figured out yet. Before you want to go talking and taking a position, burn the midnight oil. So that might be the reason why we don't hear much out of Kaepernick. And if that's the reason why, okay, I have no problem with that. And y'all know I'm not a fan of him as a quarterback. I mean, good guy. I mean, this is what pisses my buddies off when we get into the football conversations. I'm not a fan of black quarterbacks. I'm not a fan of black quarterbacks. My ideal prototypical quarterback, 6'4", 6'5". I want that dude to be thick. I want him to be 6'4", 6'5", big body, and have a gun for an arm. That's what I want. And I want him to be white. And when I say that, brothers get mad at me like, man, how can you say that? Well, listen, it's no different than when I say my cornerback. I want my cornerbacks black. I don't want no white dude trying to cover these speedy wide receivers. No, give me a brother to do that. Running back, I want a brother. In the tradition of Jerome Bettis, I mean, yes, give me a brother, man. 240, 245, I will deal with 250. Who can pound that ball between the tackles? Yes, that's what I want. But see, I'm not a fan of black quarterbacks, so I'm not really all that on Kaepernick. I'm dealing with this because of the overt hypocrisy. They don't even know who Emory Douglas is. They haven't really looked into his vast artwork. Go Google it. I'm telling you, go Google Emory Douglas's artwork. And when you begin to look at all of the stuff he has produced, there ain't no way in hell you can even rationalize that this dude hate black women, and that's the reason why he created this cover. The reason why he created this cover is because he's 77 years old. So that means he lived through that era. That was his era when y'all's mothers said y'all didn't need a man. Here it come. Y'all know this was coming. When y'all's mothers were proud to be strong and independent, the backbone of the black community, that was his generation. He's 77 years old. Half a century he's been doing this. So that's the problem. Number one problem that I have. They have not done any research on Emory Douglas. And then secondly, Kaepernick. Now, Pears, listen, I'm gonna try to reason with you, Pears. I'm gonna try to reason with you, Crystal and Cares and Yanni and all y'all. I'm gonna try, Chrissy, I'm gonna try to reason with y'all. I'm on y'all side. I got your back. But for y'all to be considered the most educated group, this petition here really don't make no sense. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense is because, number one, y'all are not Kaepernick's target audience. The audience who's going to go out in October to buy this book ain't y'all, and he knows that. So now, since you're not his target audience, the women that's going to buy that book aren't going to be women who's going to be running around making YouTube videos talking about burning the cape. And I ain't protesting for no knuckle. That ain't the group he's trying to target. So since y'all don't comprise his target audience, why would he listen to a petition from y'all? And then not only why should he listen to a petition from y'all, the book is due on the shelves in what, October? I would venture to say the book is already printed or at the printing press. So y'all's petition means nothing. It's a day late and $1 short. If that book is due out in October, you can rest assured that book is already printed, if not at the printing press as we speak. And then when you take into consideration that Kaepernick, when he got that $10 million settlement from the NFL, he started his own printing company. So his printing company is putting out the book. So it's not like, Random House or some other, white-owned printing, and y'all can target them and, threaten them and try to twist their arm and they're going to buckle under the pressure. No, it's his own printing company. Remember now, y'all said black men don't build nothing. But he has his own printing company that's putting out his own book. And y'all are not his target audience. So if you're not his target audience, why does he care what y'all think? Now, if it was his target audience who were giving grumbles about the cover of this book, then he would have more interest to listen. But you're not his target audience. Y'all ain't gonna buy that book. If he changed the cover, if he told y'all, if Kaepernick came out right now after this video, after he get done from watching this video, well, let me take that back. After he watched the Rabbit Hole, because after he watched this video, and he sends me an email for the Rabbit Hole production, and he watched that, and he must donate. Kaepernick, you got $10 million from the NFL, so you need to, hey, it is what it is. But if he came out and said, listen, I want Chrissy, Crystal and Kerrison, and I want Yanni, I want Paris, and there's others, I want y'all to come up with a cover. A cover that y'all like, and I'm gonna put it on the cover of this book. They still would not buy the book. And you know why they're not gonna buy the book? It's because it's an anthology. That means you have to read it. So black people don't like to read. I mean, you know what? Let me leave that alone, because I could do with that better in the whole. But they're not going to buy the book. At the end of the day, that's the point. And since he knows that they're not going to buy the book, no matter what's on the cover, it's a waste of time to listen to a group of women who is not his target audience. And then, like I said, if the book is due out in October, that book is either printed already or being printed as we speak. And then they sit back and talk about how many signatures they have. Listen, let me tell you something about what I know about y'all. Let me take a sip of this. This yeah, man, I'm behind in my means. Damn, this iced coffee from Starbucks is high as hell, but it's good. But and I'm shit. I'm behind in my means, y'all. So let me say this, and then y'all see the photo. I wanted to parlay right into that, but my commentary, I get long winded. But anyway, let me get this first, and then we're gonna get in with this photo. What I know about y'all in that petition, the average person, I would be willing to bet, has at least 10 email addresses, maybe more. Now, you have a primary email that you have a business email, you have a primary, but you have a lot of email addresses, and some of them you probably forgot the password to. So what these women are doing with that petition is they're signing in under different email addresses. I've seen them comment in the comments admitting this. The one woman said, yeah, I signed the petition 5 times. And a woman came back to her and said, how did you do that? And then she mentioned, well, I have different email addresses. So what they're doing to inflate the numbers is they're going in under different email addresses and just signing the petition. So we really don't know what the actual number is. And this is the reason why it's all so ludicrous. It makes no sense. Because there are things that black women could be petitioning, and now we're about to deal with the photo, and that's the photo that you see before you. I mean, and I tried, man. I really do. I really do. And I told y'all this in many of my videos. I said, I know why these Hotep pro-black back to Africans really don't want to do that intellectual heavy lifting of dealing with black people, because it's a thankless job. You're not going to get rich doing it. And oftentimes, the very people that you're trying to help are going to be your biggest opposition. They're going to be the ones who's going to be digging up dirt on you, slinging mud at you. It's going to be the same people you're trying to help. Hell, I don't get goofy emails from black women. I get emails from black women. They may ask me a question. They may make a comment or something. But I get goofy ass emails from black men. It's black men who send me dumb emails. And what I mean by dumb, I'm talking about goofy emails, trying to argue, trying to fuss, trying to bicker. It's black men. And this black men are the group that I'm trying to help you, nigga. Why are you up at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to dig up dirt on me? I'm the one trying to help you. The ones that you actually are trying to help are going to be your biggest opposition. The black men that are sitting back trying to bicker and argue with me over my videos are niggas who at one time supported the content. I have the receipts, as y'all say. But because something I've said that has gotten them butthurt, now they're trying to argue with me. But just yesterday, you was supporting the whole, you was a fan. See, this is why I told y'all about black men, man. Y'all are fickle, man. Y'all are fickle and y'all are fake. And that's the reason why I keep you niggas at a distance. And that's unfortunate, because there's a lot of brothers who not like that. And we probably could have a great back and forth conversation. But because a lot of y'all are, they just bloody water for the guys that aren't like that. These niggas are fucked up. And the reason why is what we see in this photo. And I'm gonna tip here, because I'm gonna deal with this in the hole. And y'all already know I'm gonna address this photo here in the hole. This shit here pisses me off. This pisses me off, man. And the reason why this pisses me off is, and I captioned the video when I created the meme, and I asked the question, why? And I would like to ask that brother, why, dude? Why, man? Why, guy? Why? Why would you sit there and allow this heifer to put a baby bottle in your mouth and then allow allow somebody to take a picture, which was probably either her mother or one of her girls. Why, dude? Why, man? Why? I mean, it's, and y'all have to know, I'm tipping, because I really, man, when I deal with this in the hole, brother, when I deal with this in the hole, I mean, nigga, this is the problem that you have in the black community. These brothers that these women, your Cynthia G's and all these women complain about. And I'm going to keep asking them until somebody comes up with an answer for me. Because they act as if these brothers just, poof, came out of nowhere and they were screwed up. No. And it's interesting because it's the same argument that they have for a white child. And they ask, is racism or prejudice, is it born, are you born that way, or is that a learned behavior? And we know that it's a learned behavior. How? Because you have white children playing with black children. They just playing, man. If you got the ball, or if you have the doll, if you have the toys, we playing. They don't see, they may notice that he's a different color than me, but that whole concept have to be injected into that child by who? An adult. They're not born that way. So if the young child is not born prejudiced or racist, and that is a learned behavior, then doesn't it stand to reason that this shine is not born a shine? He's not born an effeminate savage? And I would say something else, but we would have to say that for the whole. But this is learned behavior, y'all. And so since it's learned behavior, who did he learn it from? And I'm going to keep asking that question, because the men that these sisters complain so much about, many of them were reared by black women. And that's the reason why, again, these sisters want to go back and erase the historical record and pretend like they never said that. I know why they do it. I understand why y'all do that. I'm just not going to let y'all get away with it. I know why y'all want to pretend like y'all's. And see that video that I done last week, where I told them that it's your mother who created that tough, hard persona. Yeah, it was your mother. That was her generation that did that. It was your mother's generation that said, I'm strong and independent. Your mother did that. And so I know why y'all want to erase that and pretend like she never said that. But see, I'm not going to let y'all move the goalposts that easy. And when I see y'all moving it, I'm going to highlight to everybody, listen, they moving the goalposts again, y'all. Here they go. I mean, why would a woman who respects a man want to take a photo like this? Why? No, baby, I'm not. No. Because of the historical implications involved in our community being screwed up because of this exact reason. No, we can't play that way. We can play other ways, but we ain't going to play that way. We're not going to play with that. Because this is what has your community in the condition that it's in. So now I'm asking the brother, dude, why would you even do that, man? Why? Why? And I know why. I know why you did it. Because you are intoxicated. You are enamored over what she has between her legs. And see, I'm the guy that's going to tell you, listen, you're not putting no baby bottle in my mouth. If anything going to be put in somebody's mouth, you get on your knees. Wait. Stop. Hold on. Let me take a sip of this, man. That's definitely the hole there, people. Hold on. Yeah, that's definitely the hole there. scratch that one from the record. But I mean, this is the issue, y'all. I mean, I look at this photo and I'm thinking, man, I would like to have a conversation with this brother. Dude, really, man? You mean to tell me that you trying to hit that? And she tell you, well, you know, I'll let you hit some of this if you let me take a photo with you. I want to put it on Facebook. And he's so intoxicated off of being able to get some of that. He'll lay there and let her do this. And then her girl takes the picture. They laughing at the nigga. And I would like to tell him this. Listen, guy, listen, let me tell you something. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to degrade yourself to that point to get with her. Dude, you could have gotten with her coming in the door wearing flip-flops, cut-off shorts, and a wife beater, man. If you got the right game, she would have bent over right there in the doorway, man. You ain't got to do all that for that, man. Are you serious? It's overpriced anyway. It's not worth what she thinks it's worth. It's an inflated price tag. It's beat up and used and abused, written hard and put away wet. Let me stop. Let me keep backing up. Yeah, y'all got me thinking I'm in the hole, man. Let me stop. Let me stop. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go on and wrap this video up, man. And but that's what they could be petitioning. But we know they're not going to petition that. We know that is not going to be a petition that these sisters put together, because in their mind, this is not their fault. This is not their fault. And see, until y'all, you know what I'm saying y'all, because I'm beyond that, but until y'all get to the point where some people can admit they're wrong. It's just like the race piece. And y'all remember every time there was a big to-do and something, I can remember back in the day when the Rodney King verdict situation jumped off, and then you had all these race panels. You know, you had blacks and whites, and they're trying to dialogue. But the only way you gonna move forward in a dialogue like that is that people have to admit we were wrong. We were wrong. As long as you're trying to justify your behavior, you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna move forward. You have to be able to listen to that group, put out their gripes. You don't have to interrupt them or rebuttal. You got to take it, fall on the sword, and then when it's your turn, they have to listen to you. That's where you can create some dialogue. But as long as every time you say something, somebody want to interrupt you because they disagree with, no, you're not going to have any dialogue that way. And it's the same with the gender piece. As long as these sisters don't want to admit, yeah, y'all did this. This is historical fact. And as long as y'all keep trying to justify and rationalize and explain away decisions that your mama made and the residual effects from those decisions, then we ain't going nowhere. Well, I keep saying we, y'all, because I'm done with it, man. I mean, I'm at the point now, it don't make no difference if they did say we sorry, we did do it. It's too late. That horse that left the gate, man, I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm finished. That's the reason why I tell y'all in video after video after video that I've done. And I'm about to go smoke me one when I'm done with this video. You put her butt naked in the bed. Spread eagle. And put next to her a box of Camacho Triple Maduro. And it don't have to be Camacho Triple Maduro. That's just what I prefer. Any Maduro. At least a 54 or 60 ring gauge. And you have to smoke cigars to understand this language. But it has to be a 54 or 60 ring gauge. That's what I smoke. And you give me the choice between that and her, 10 times out of 10, I'm taking the sticks. I'm taking the sticks. I'm just simply not pressed. I'm just not pressed. And I can remember it actually yesterday. A situation like this happened to me yesterday. I'm coming out of the cigar shop, walking down the street, downtown, and this big butt heifer comes out of one of the businesses, and she's walking down the street, and her butt just swaying back and forth. And there was a brother standing there, and he's watching. And as I'm walking, he looks at me, and he looks at her. And I told him, listen, brother, it's not worth what you think it's worth. Yeah, it's big. It looks nice in the skirt, but trust me, it's not worth it. And I proceeded to tell him, because she was in front of us, so I couldn't really see what her face looked like. And I proceeded to tell the brother, listen, yeah, if her face is nice and she got a big butt like that, you can rest assured there's at least 2 or 3 coons somewhere. Now, you're not going to find out when you first meet her and go over her house, but somewhere along the line, and you got to also include her pastor, because we know he getting some of that. So now you got 3 or 4 coons that you're going to be dealing with, who's going to be mad that you're the new guy. Then you got her pastor, and she works in one of these businesses down here. So the white dude, let me stop. You know what, y'all? I'm done. That's going to have to be for the whole. Y'all know what it is. If you want those photos, send me email. I'll get you the link. Because at the end of the day,